This battery will cost you $600 or $153 per kilowatt hour. For comparison, the watt cycle comes in at $142 per kilowatt hour, the eco-worthy 122, and the do-it-yourself Yixing, which I do recommend, is $121. There are cheaper batteries available, but I don't recommend them. This battery comes with a 200 amp BMS. It has overcurrent protection and low temperature protection. They say it's built for vibration environments like a van or a boat. It also comes with Bluetooth, which I will test later in the video. It also claims it has a 1500 cca. That means it can start a car engine. Let me know in the comments if you want me to perform that test on my car. So in this video, I'm going to look for any issues I can find with this battery. This battery has been sent to me from the Amazon warehouse, and VATRER does not pay me to say nice things about this battery. I did a capacity test off camera and I got 331 amp hours. That's 10% more than it's rated for, and that's amazing. Normally they only test 4% more than their rating, but this one over delivers by a lot. So I think they're using 306 or even 314 amp hour cells. However, I saw a potential problem when I charged the battery. The cells were allowed to reach 3.75 volts. Personally, I don't think it's a big issue, and I'll tell you why later in the video. I ran the battery just under 200 amps to see if there was an overtemperature disconnect, but there wasn't, so that's good. In the next test, I will try to trip the overcurrent protection. It is set to 220 amps, but I don't know for how long, so let's see how long it takes. I will draw about 240 amps in this test. And that was about 10 seconds, so it passed the overcurrent protection test. It's nice they have some fiberboard right here. Let's clean up the plastic shavings and come back and remove this top lid. Jesus. And we got a lock washer, that's good. That looks nice. They're using some foam and then the fiberboard. They use nylon washers, which is good. There's a bump in the bus bars and the balance leads are protected against vibrations with this hard epoxy. The wire management looks great as well. We have the balance leads in a wire loom going to the BMS, and the temperature sensor is connected to the cell, and that's nice. But I've never seen these kinds of vents, so I will scan the QR codes on the battery cells. So it doesn't say much about the cells themselves. They're produced 17th of January 2026, but there's no cell manufacturer shown here, and that's actually the first time I get an incomplete decode message. So I will have to look up the cells manually. I looked up the QR code and they are made by Envision. It's not a no-name brand. They started in 2007 building the cells for the Nissan Leaf. In 2018, the Chinese Envision group bought Nissan, and today they also supply BMW, Mercedes and Renault. And they have EV cell factories in Japan, the UK, France, Spain and the US. The cells in this battery is still made in China, but it comes from a company that has to pass automotive quality standards, and that's a good sign. They're using a GBD BMS of 200 amps. And here we have the foam block on the top. And here you can see the balancing resistors. Each channel is 200 milliamps. So the cells will balance at 200 milliamps, which is great. Then we have the cell with a separation, another separation, and then the heatsink. This is the temperature wire, and this is the balance lead harness. I couldn't remove the cells from the case because there's a sticky foam holding the cells down. I didn't really want to remove this panel because it's losing the structural integrity of the case with this handle, because I still want to use this battery in a friend's van. But what kind of reviewer would I be if I didn't make this cut? So let's take a closer look. Here is a 200 amp GBD BMS. We have the temperature sensor, the balancing leads, and we have screw terminals. There's also a PTC. It's a temperature sensor, but this is only used if you have the heating pad option. And this battery does not come with heating pads, but there's a version that's available. And it acts as a second protection. So if the heating pads doesn't get turned off by the BMS because there's a failure, this temperature sensor will turn them off. So it's a secondary protection, but in this case it's not used. I have reviewed their 12 volt 100 amp hour heated version about a year ago, and this is how the heating pad looks like. We have one on both sides. So I suspect this will be the same if you get the heated version for this one. Let's now do the low temperature charging test. I removed the temperature sensor from the battery and we are charging with 6.6 amps. And the BMS turned off, so it passed the test. We just tested the low temperature protection, but the same sensor is also a high temperature protection. It's set at 75 degrees Celsius for discharge and 65 degrees Celsius for charge. So let's test it with the heat gun. And it has a few seconds delay, so that's okay. And the BMS also has a high temperature disconnect set at 90 degrees Celsius. So all the temperature protections are set correctly. What I also like is that they test every battery cell in their factory. and then they label the side of the battery with the capacity. And that's why the batteries from VATRER pull such high capacity. They are matched using a capacity test in the factory. Let's take a look at the app. You can see two different batteries. The other one is the 100 amp hour version, and the one that's connected with Bluetooth is the 300 amp version. So let's go to the dashboard, and there you can see the total capacity of your batteries. You have an option for series, single or parallel. I just use a single battery. Here you have a small dashboard, and if we go to the cell tab, we can see the individual cell voltages. Overall, I quite like this app. It's simple and you cannot change any parameters. Which is good because with the EcoVerti battery there was an issue with safety. Other people could disable the battery from a distance, and that's not what you want. Let's talk about the issue with the high voltage cutoff of 3.75 volts per cell. If you have a battery charger at 14.6 volts, that's 3.65 volts per cell. And if your MPPT is set to 14.2 volts, that's a maximum of 3.55 volts per cell. So you will only reach a high voltage of 3.75 volts if one of the cells is high, and that's during an imbalance. However, the 200 milliamp balancer inside of the BMS is able to clear an imbalance. In my case, it was away in less than 1 hour during absorption. So personally, I wouldn't worry about this issue. But if you are worried, you can change this setting in the Overkill Solar app. You change it from 3.75 volts to 3.6 volts. Here's what I like about the battery. It pulled over the rated capacity. The cells inside are 314 amp hours, unlike the advertised 300 amp hours. They're quality cells with no bloating. And overall, I like the build quality. It's a good BMS with a high balancing current. It also has overcurrent protection, and the cold temperature sensor is working. And here's what I don't like about it. It's the high voltage cutoff. But as I've explained, it's not a big problem for me. Other than that, I couldn't find anything else. So we finally did it. I found a battery after reviewing 5 batteries that I can recommend. This battery will go on my list of recommended batteries. It's a bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it, and you will have peace of mind that the BMS and the balancing is actually working, unlike the cheaper batteries I have reviewed. If this review helped in your purchase decision, consider buying the battery through my link in the description. I'll get a small percentage at no extra cost to you. If you have a VATRER battery, did you experience any issues with them? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.